Hello, Panthers, and welcome back to our second season of We Are 105. In today's episode, we will be having an interview with our admins and a roundtable on our summer concerts. I will be met with Miss Castillo and Mrs. Fernandez soon as we send you off to the intro.
We are 105.
So we will be starting off with one of our more hard-hitting questions. What is it like being the principal and vice principal of GEMS? What are some of the best and hardest parts? Either of you can start us off.
All right, I'll start you guys off. So, what is it like being a principal? I would say it's fun, but it's also scary. And there's a lot of aspects that go into it because you're not only in charge of looking after all of the students, but you're in charge of overseeing the teachers, the just the staff in general. So there's kind of like a lot going on, and it's hard to balance that sometimes. And then on top of that, you want to make sure you're communicating with parents and you're communicating with the community. So I would say the fun aspect is that I still get to hang out with you guys and interact with you guys, but then the scary part is making sure that, every decision that I'm making is what's right for you guys.
Ms. Fernandez?
So for me, the best part of being an assistant principal is working with the kids, and I get to know a lot more kids on campus than I did as a teacher with just knowing my few classes. The hardest part, I would say, is getting the time to actually do some reflections with the students that are maybe not making the best choices and having the time for them, and also getting into classrooms with the staff.
That's a good point. Time is definitely another hard part of this. You feel like there's not enough time in the day.
Stretched too thin between everything.
100%.
Can you tell us what positions you held before the position of admin?
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna take you down memory lane for me. So I started off as a literacy tutor because I was going to school to be a speech and language pathologist. So that was kind of one thing that you started with because you would work on phonics, which are like sounds and stuff like that. So after I did a literacy tutor, I was a clinician for speech and language pathology. And then from there, I wound up taking a long-term science substitute position. And then I went into getting my credential, became a science teacher, and then I became a pseudo admin, and then an admin.
For me, I had a lot of interesting careers before I got into education. Prior to education, I was an escrow officer for 8 years. And then I, as a mom, wanted to have more time with my kids. So I finished my teaching credential and was a math teacher. And I was a math teacher here at GEMS for 10 years before going into admin.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And leadership teacher.
Yeah, my sister had you for leadership, actually.
Yes.
What are the biggest things you'd like to change about our school? Whether that be big things like events or just even smaller things that may seem big on the scale?
Oh, God, that's such a good question. I would say my biggest thing is changing the culture. I would love to see more pride. Like, I want... Did I take your answer? I took her answer. I had a feeling we were going to have the same answer. I would say I think it would just be awesome to have our kids and our students and staff showing up with just this crazy amount of energy and excitement to be a Panther. And I know that exists because it's existed before, but over the last couple of years, I know it's kind of dwindled off. So I would say the biggest change that I would want is bringing that excitement back and that involvement back for us.
100% pride for the school, the culture, students and staff, positivity, kindness, just kind, positive words and events will carry through with that if we have that for our school.
Just the really want to be a Panther, not just, I'm a Panther. It's like, yeah I'm a Panther.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we see it with the zebras. So it's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
We're Panthers, man.
And that will wrap up our first half of the segment as we send you into our sponsors.
WeAre105 and GEMS TV would like to thank our Platinum and Gold level sponsors this year. Platinum level, Tamaloo Studios, Morel Events, Far West Rentals, Sierra Pacific, and Police Athletic League. Gold level, Empire Gymnastics. We thank you for your sponsorships.
So outside of school, tell us about how you spend your time, your hobbies, what do you like to do, cooking, things like that.
Oh man. Okay. Outside of school, what do I
The
like?
little time you have outside of school.
I know, right? I was just gonna say I'm sleeping. No, I love spending time with my friends and family. I'm super involved with my nieces and my nephews, and I like going back whenever I can to see them. I have a 2-year-old fur baby. His name's Gus. Gus, like from Cinderella. He's a silver lab, so I spend a lot of time with him. And then other than that, I mean, just getting out in the environment. I used to dirt bike a lot. I want to get back into doing that. My family has a cabin up in Arnold, California, so spending time up there is pretty awesome. But I'd say for now, it's kind of doing the little things of just hanging out with the friends and the family.
Same, a lot of time with friends and family, but also I'm a part of some groups for nonprofits and charities, so I spend a lot of time doing different events outside of school
Miss
events.
Fernandez doesn't sleep.
No. So I spend a lot of time, and then even with that, we run a restaurant once a month, and all that money goes back to charities.
That's really cool. What is something your students would never know about you?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I feel like I'm an open book. I don't know. What are they?
Well, I guess they'll know after this.
That's very true. I would say the biggest thing that I always like to share is, despite what people may think of being a principal, I am terrified to speak in public. I mean, Miss Fernandez is shaking her head over here. I like start shaking. My voice starts shaking. Like, so that's half the time when you guys see Miss Fernandez speaking, like in rallies or in front of people, it's because I'm sitting there shaking and I cannot get the courage. So one big thing to know about me is I am as extroverted as I may be. I'm the other half introverted, equally introverted. It just scares me.
Extroverted introvert.
We should give her a round of applause when she does the announcements.
Oh yeah, the announcements over the loudspeaker. That's another thing that this year one of my goals is to get on the loudspeaker a little bit more, which is why the last time I did an announcement, I messed up because I was really nervous. So, I mean, I think that's something not many people know about me.
Gosh, maybe just my careers beforehand, because I worked with Jane Goodall, primatologist, with chimpanzees, and then kind of weird things. Going into education, I was a full-time escrow officer, so my hours had to be outside of normal school time. So how I filled those was actually at Folsom Prison. So I was the welcome director and worked with all the kids of inmates at Folsom Prison. So those are some interesting things.
What would you like the students at GEMS to know about their principal and vice principal, or even share a funny story you've had at GEMS?
That's a great question too. I mean, I would say what I would want my students to know about me is that I didn't get to where I'm at by being perfect. So despite me being a principal or being a vice principal, I mean, I messed up a lot. Like, I'm not kidding you. And it didn't just stop in middle school. And something I always share with my students, you know, when academics are getting really hard is I got put on academic probation my first year of college. Like, I almost got kicked out, right? So no one's perfect, and it's hard. And I get that. And I just want to share that when we're coming to you guys and speaking to you guys. It's not because we're talking about things we don't know or we didn't walk through or experience ourselves. So I would just say I would want my students to know that I get it and I've been there.
I would copy that with we relate to some of the things, and I think a lot of times when it's scary coming up into the office, and so when they have to come up into the office to talk to us about something that maybe they aren't proud of, the decision they made, or they don't really want to admit to it, they can with us because we can relate. We know sometimes you make bad decisions, but also to say it doesn't carry through with them. So if you make a bad decision, it's not like we're looking at you for the rest of the school year as that one decision you made.
Yeah.
Like, we move forward.
And I think also just on like a funnier note, I mean, I know we look intimidating, specifically me. But
I attest to that.
I was going to say, but I promise you, if you guys come and talk to me, like half the time I'm just staring off into the distance because I'm zoned out and I just have a certain look on my face. But I promise y'all, I don't bite.
And we like to get down on the dance floor.
Oh, there's that too.
All right, well, so we will send this off with a few rapid fire questions so we can finish off. You two will answer, and then I'll move on to the next question. Favorite movie?
Beaches.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Favorite singer?
Pink.
Morgan Wallen.
Favorite vacation spot?
Anywhere tropical with a beach.
Oh, that's so true. There or Arnold.
Favorite snack?
Almonds.
Oh, I'm a beef jerky person.
Favorite sport?
To watch football.
To play basketball.
Favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Christmas.
With you there. Favorite restaurant?
Anything Mexican.
Oh, that's so true. Anything but the chef's table. I think
Ooh,
since
yeah,
moving
chef's
up
table.
here.
Chef's
Yep.
table is good. Favorite subject in school?
Go math.
Oh my god. I mean, me as an athlete, I'd say PE, but I mean, I'll go to science because that's what I know.
Anything you guys like to add before we wrap it up?
No, I mean, this is awesome. You guys are doing a great job. I wish, hopefully we can get more people to listen. I mean, and hopefully we can be back on here and chat a little bit longer. So thank you for having us.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Thank you for coming. As I send you off to Alex with a roundtable on our summer concerts.
Hello and welcome to our roundtable discussion. Our roundtable is about summer concerts today. We have Mason, Owen, Aaliyah, Avery, and Chrissy with me today. And let's get started. Avery, what concert did you go to?
Okay, so I went to Luke Bryan in July.
Okay, what about you, Chrissy?
I went to Taylor Swift at the Levi Stadium, and it was like in late July.
What about you, Aaliyah?
I went to the Blackpink concert at Oracle Park in late August.
Owen?
I went to Blink 182 in June at the Golden One Center.
I went to the Bittersweet Tour concert in Stanford at the Frost Amphitheater. I think it was in late August.
Who sings for the Bittersweet Tour?
Cave Town, MXM Tune, Ricky Montgomery, and then one other guy, but I forgot.
Nice. What were like your favorite parts from the show, Owen?
The second to last song, the song's called All the Small Things. It's just my favorite song that they made.
What about you, Mason?
I really liked the fact that all of the artists gave these like at least 10-minute, 15-minute long speeches about stuff that was happening in their life, and it made me really like I was able to really connect to them because they weren't just singing; they were actually like people talking about themselves. And that really made me think about stuff.
I actually went to a Pink concert, not over the summer, but a few weeks ago, and she's amazing in concert. Like, she does aerials and a lot of great performing. I think my favorite part was when she did So What and she flies like over everybody's head. That's always great to see. What about you, Avery?
My favorite part about the concert was that I got to sing like songs with my dad.
What about you, Chrissy?
My favorite part was like Taylor Swift. It was very creative about her concert, and my favorite part was when she said that she was ready to go back to high school and sing all the songs that she made in high school.
And that would be the Eras Tour concert, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Aaliyah?
My favorite part of the concert was probably when the girls, like, they made their, like, own personal speeches, and, you know, like, when they were, like, risen above the stage, like, they had their own poses, and then they were able to just sing all the songs so, like, clearly and with, like, full passion and, like, energetically, and it was, like, really fun for me.
What would you guys say is, like, your overall review of the concerts? Mason?
Out of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 9 just because I'm not super into music. So going to concerts is a really great experience, but I don't connect to music in the same way that everyone else does. I connect to speaking. So the music wasn't really what I really enjoyed about it. The music was good though. I liked it.
What about you, Aaliyah?
I really liked that it was actually something I could probably always remember for like the rest of my life because it was such like a memorable experience that like honestly I just never thought it would like actually happen.
Avery?
It was my first concert, but I would give it like a 7 out of 10, but it was like really hot.
What about you?
I would give the concert an 8 out of 10 just because some songs that I really liked she didn't play, but otherwise it was really good.
Are there any upcoming concerts that you guys want to see? Avery?
I'm going to Stagecoach.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Owen?
I want to go see TX2. He's playing today, and in Sacramento, but I don't think I got the tickets. So
Yeah, his music is pretty good. What about you, Leah?
So far I haven't thought about attending like any future concerts yet, but I would definitely be hoping to, like kind of like in the near future when I have like more of a good like music presence of what I want to do.
What about you, Chrissy?
I'm going to be going to a Niall Horan concert next year in the summer.
Mason?
Like I said earlier, music isn't really something I really connect to, so concerts aren't something I'm up and ready to see. But if anyone ever invites me to a concert, I'll totally go.
What would you say is like the best concert that you guys have seen, Aaliyah?
The best concert I've personally seen would probably be the like Blackpink concert, mainly because that was my first concert that I've been to.
What about you, Owen?
TX2 because after he played, I got to meet him.
What about you, Mason?
I'm gonna get really embarrassed for this, but my favorite concert I've ever been to was when I was like 5. I went to a Gwen Stefani concert, and it was my first concert. It was the greatest experience I've ever had with music, because it was so loud. My 4-year-old mind was blown.
What about you, Avery?
Well, a little bit after that, I went to the Arctic Monkeys concert, and that was really fun.
What about you, Chrissy?
I honestly really liked the Taylor Swift concert. It was like really good put together and everything.
I've actually been to a few concerts. I would say the top 3 that I've gone to that were like really amazing were AJR, Pink, and NF. And I also saw like a mixed concert of Sum 41, Simple Plan, and The Offspring. And that was pretty cool, except for we had to leave early, so we didn't really get to see The Offspring. But the rest of it was pretty great. But yeah, because AJR has like some great performing acts, and NF had some pretty cool stunts and stuff, and Pink was obviously amazing. Thank you to our principal and vice principal for talking to us today about their positions here at school and some fun facts about them. And thank you to our roundtable guests for sharing their fun concert experiences. Tune in for our next episode in 2 weeks. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Listeners, if you have any questions or podcast ideas, we would love to hear from you. Email gemstv@wpusd.org.